Hey, you're listening to MMH, the home of rock radio. We're here with CJ from Loud as Murder. How are you doing?
Good, I'm good.
Great. So Human Target is now out worldwide. Obviously, each track is a triumph, which has had so much hard work put into it. But are there any tracks on this album that you'd say were your favourite to record or play live?
I feel Human Target's a big one. Eternal Suffering, Chemical Christ is really personal to me. It's awesome to play. And then there's a song called Atonement where I hated the song, I hated the lyrics, I hated recording it. And then a few months after we recorded it, I was listening to the record, learning everything again, and I fell in love with it. So it was really, really strange. It's kind of like when I first heard Drake. Yeah. I hated Drake. And then many years later, I listened to Drake again and went, oh, hang on a minute, I like Drake. So it was very odd to have that with my own music, that hate and love kind of thing. So, it was a really cool record for us to do. It's probably the most personal record that I've ever done in my career, and also the guys' career as well. So there's more songs about things that were affecting my life in this record than the other records that we've done.
Okay, brilliant. So far, how have fans reacted to this new album?
Yeah, they love it. It's come across really great. It was really hard to top Hate. A lot of the songs on our Hate record, the singles, are still so popular with everybody. So that was one thing that we were very mindful on going into this new record, is that we wanted to have those bangers that we had off Hate and the ones we had off Holy War. Are we going to be able to pull that off again? And it takes some time to find out if you've actually pulled it off or not. But the response live has been amazing so far.
That's awesome. So when it comes to making kind of music videos for your songs, what are those first steps that you guys take to kind of bring those concepts from kind of your head onto the screen?
Sure. I guess it's like we talk about it like as a band, and then me and Andy, our guitarist, we talk a lot about our ideas. I think we come up with probably the most creative ideas out of all of us. And then Andy will pick a producer, director, and film crew. And then generally the film crew will come up with, like the director will come up with totally opposite things to what we're looking for. And sometimes they have a better idea than us. But on this record, I think me and Andy really drove home that we wanted certain things visually and imagery and the film clips for this record. So we were very hands-on, and we were very stern with certain things that we wanted to portray in these record video clips.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. So before you guys started making music, what would you say were your early life influences when it came to your music taste, and that this was something that you wanted to start doing long term?
Yeah, for me it's like a clusterfuck of different styles and genres. Like I grew up with like Nirvana, Sublime, so I've always been heavily influenced by hip-hop, rap and reggae. And I listen to mainly those things now. I don't really listen to much metal or heavy music anymore. But bands like Slipknot, Korn, System of a Down, Deftones were like the ones that like did it all for me. They're the reason why I'm a musician today.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. We've all got our kind of childhood roots, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
So, outside of metal, would you say that there's maybe like an artist or genre you listen to as like a guilty pleasure that maybe fans wouldn't expect you to delve into? Yeah,
definitely. I spend like £400 today on vinyl from different shops. So like 80s, 90s R&B, 80s, 90s, early 2000 hip hop and dub, and anywhere between vintage 70s to early 90s reggae dub that's where all my money I spend on music goes. I own a tattoo studio in Sydney.
Oh, wow.
That's where most of that music, when I'm in the shop, is played there. I recently got into vinyl in the last 12 months from Sammy from Architects. The Architects boys got me kind of ignited that kind of buying vinyl and appreciating it and that. So I owe my young and early vinyl hunting to the Architects boys, and so I must have bought like 30 vinyl in the last 2 days.
Well, becoming quite the collector then already.
Yeah. Well, here, especially in Brixton, like Brixton has this huge history of Jamaican and Caribbean people demographics here from dating back to the 50s.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to find reggae vinyl, that's extremely rare and very hard to find. This is where I'm going to find it. Yeah. So, you know, for the next 2 years, if I don't come back to London or Brixton, I won't find any of what I got today.
Yeah, no.
So I can go and get my R&B, my blues, my jazz, some reggae, and my hip hop and stuff like that. But I can't. Like Brixton is like the mecca of, you know, Caribbean reggae for me and for the whole people that get behind the reggae scene. So I was really lucky that, you know, around the corner there's 2 really, really cool vinyl stores, and the people that own them were married couples, and they really looked after me today, so it was really cool.
Yeah, it's nice to find those like hidden gems that kind of...
Yeah, like honestly, the shit that I found yesterday in Bristol and today in Brixton, like I got some shit you can't find. Yeah. Like, and I'm like, wow, this is sick.
Worth the trip just for that.
Oh shit, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, do you maybe remember like the first ever album you bought when you were like younger?
Yeah, it was. I didn't buy it. I got it for Christmas. It was a 2 Unlimited record, early '90s. Are you ready for this? Yeah, and the real McCoy. Another night, another dream, but always you.
Yeah.
All that sort of like R&B, kind of from like early '90s. The first record I bought myself was Nirvana's Bleach. I bought it from a garage sale, and I got into Nirvana because there was a girl I had a crush on in my street that was 2 years older than me, and she had a brother that was 2 years older than her, and he used to like smoke cigarettes and lift weights in his garage. That was his bedroom, and he was always playing like Nirvana and Pantera, and then I had to ask him like what he was listening to, and I wrote it down. And then my mum and dad wouldn't let me listen to it or buy it. I went to a garage sale down the street, and they had Nirvana Bleach. I bought Nirvana Bleach for like $5 when I was like 12 or something, or 11. Then I bought Muddy Banks of the Wish Girl, and then it was only Nirvana for like 3 years. And then, you know, Deftones, Slipknot, System of a Down, Korn, that's when they all started coming, and then I was like, got into punk as well, like Rancid and Operation Ivy, and then I found Sublime, and then I was listening to techno. I was listening to one of the UK's biggest techno DJ producers ever, Carl Cox. So I was listening to like Carl Cox, and then I got into hardstyle, so I was listening to Anger Fist and Headhunters, who also, I think Headhunters are British. And then I got into the Streets, and then, you know, I was obsessed with Skinner, and so I guess me and my musical career of even just being a fan of music, I was just like grabbing everything, and it was also different from each other. You know, I'd go to a festival in Sydney to watch Big Day Out, or I'd watch Marilyn Manson and Limp Bizkit and Korn, then I'd run to the Boiler Room to see, you know, like Chemical Brothers and The Prodigy and Lily Allen and The Streets and all of this other shit. So I was like constantly just, I can't get enough of music, and I think because we play so much, that's probably why I can't really listen to much metal anymore. I listen to everything else. Like,
just live by the metal. You kind of need.
Yeah, because I'm just surrounded by it, like on tour so much that it's kind of like it hasn't killed the love for it. It's like I'm playing it, so I think it's different when you're constantly playing it, because you're getting so much more of a fix playing it than you are just listening to it. And it kind of takes, you know, I've got my quota of heavier music from playing it for so long, so I need to listen to things that's completely opposite.
Yes, no, that's really awesome. So if there was like your perfect festival lineup and it was you with 3 other bands, who would those other 3 bands be?
Do they have to be alive?
No.
Okay, I couldn't even do it, even if they wanted. I'm just going to like throw out a whole bunch of names and I can't pick three. So it'd be Dillinger Escape Plan, 100%. Parkway Drive, Nirvana, Deftones, Korn, Limp Bizkit, Slipknot. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm going like, I'm going to need like 14 stages, and I'm going to be here all evening telling you all the bands, all the artists, all the groups, all the DJs, all the producers, all the everything. Like, so it'll take way too long.
Yeah. 14 stages, yeah. Imagine that.
Yeah.
How many fields does that take?
It'd be 10 times bigger than Coachella.
But it would be like the best festival.
Yeah, you'd have like 1 million people there every day. Easy.
Obviously, of course. Yeah. So I did get one fan question, if you don't mind answering.
Sure.
What made you come back to Zayat?
It's kind of strange, but also simple to explain, I guess. I've always been in a band, and being in a band was my way to escape being bullied, and it was also a way for me to feel freedom in my head, because I suffer from mental illnesses. I don't want to ramble too much on about it, but when I play music, it's like I'm free, and the voices in my head aren't there. I feel invincible and powerful, and even though like tonight sold out 1,500 people, there'll be points through that set that I just feel like I'm the only person in the room, and like and it almost feels like I'm making all of the sound. It's not even like the band's there. It's like when I open my mouth, I am the guitars, I am the drums, I am the bass, I am the vocal, I am everything, and I just evaporate into the universe, and when I evaporate into the universe, I become the universe, and I become everything within that everything. So for me, it's almost hard to explain, but that's the reason why I came back. I didn't have that anymore. There's a lot of reasons why I didn't want to come back. But the main reason is I didn't feel whole. I didn't feel like me. And it's funny, when I left the band, the amount of offers I got from bands that were bigger than us to front their bands, and they were going to kick their vocalists out of their bands to have me. And I couldn't do it. Sure, at the time the money was crazy and everything, but there's only 2 other bands in this world that I would love to sing for, and that's Parkway Drive and Dillinger Escape Plan. And I don't think I could even do it justice, because those bands are so unique and so amazing that I couldn't sing for them anyway. I'm not good enough, you know. But yeah, for me, there was a massive hole that was taken away from me through my own decision. But I needed that back. I needed to have it back, and the boys wanted me to come back, and then I really wanted to come back. And then it was about 3 weeks of them not saying that they wanted me back, and then me not saying that I wanted to come back, but we both knew it was a really kind of funny couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with our guitarist Sean, and we were joking about the idea of me coming back, and then it just went full circle. Like, we should just do it, man. I'm like, I can't come back. I look like, we set it up or something. And they're like, fuck what everyone thinks, man. You have to fix your life up. You're going to die. Like, you fucking... And I'm like, I know, well, I was. I was ODing on tour and shit. Yeah, so it's cool. But yeah, the reason why I came back is I wasn't me. I needed to be completed. And as much as I rebuilt myself and fixed all of my problems, taking time off the band, it was so long that I fixed all the problems that I needed to fix, but I had that one thing to fix, and I had to come back, otherwise I wouldn't be complete.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us, and I hope you guys have a good show.
Thank you.
MMH, the home of rock radio.